Well, what is up with Onision and topics that he just do not understand? Today he uploaded a video involving gun control. Because, hey, when you think of Onision, you think gun control. So, he gives a great educational video of what gun control is and how it should be treated in the United States of America, like any other country that is treating their gun control laws in Japan and other countries. So let's listen.
No suicides, no unintentional deaths, literally no unintentional deaths with guns. So let's go ahead and look up what their gun laws are. Okay, according to this site, handguns are banned. Out of 130 million people in Japan, only 7 people died from gun violence. Meanwhile, in the US, thousands of us are being killed by guns. Because a lot of us seem to believe that if we don't have guns, it means somebody's gonna kill us. Hong Kong gun laws. Okay, so what CNN is pointing out is that in China, somebody attacked a bunch of children with a knife, and none of them died. Meanwhile, in America, somebody attacked a bunch of children with a gun, and of course the gun was far more effective in ending their lives. But in a general sense, if you just take the time to look it up, you'll find that countries that have gun control laws that are extreme experience far less gun violence. And as you can see from this article, when people seek out alternatives to guns due to their unavailability in their country, they are far less successful in killing people. How does this not prove to us that our country should significantly restrict the use of guns?
Alright, here is the answer. First off, Japan has a less death rate for guns, but we're unbelievably high on the gun deaths. Why are we high on the gun deaths? Well, first off, we are unable to aware that we have so many unstable and mentally unstable and criminally unstable people in the United States. And mostly they're unaware about the background checks. Have a very tighter, strict background checks. Basically, when it comes to getting guns, it's very, very easy. You just go up to the counter that has all the guns that you want, say you want a gun, and there you have it. You just gotta have to buy whatever the gun is, and then you have your gun. Second off, it may decrease violence for guns, but in the United States, in Washington D.C., I worked on a gun control. I worked on a gun control essay for my argumentative prose writing, and I did an essay about gun control, and I realized that there is a site that notices a gun ban in Washington D.C. a while ago, and I mean, the violence went down, but the crime rate went through the roof. It went up in the 1990s, and it was a nightmare. It was a complete and utter nightmare. It's like no one felt safe. Because when it comes to guns and people, stable people actually, guys who are very stable and very responsible with their guns mostly use them to protect themselves from home invasions. Yeah, from mostly home invasions to people who possibly kidnap their children, and probably people that rob their jewelry, I believe. But mostly they use their guns to protect themselves from home invasions. And of course, there's also the conceal and carry permit. That shows that you have the right to own the gun. You have the right to protect yourselves. And if you kill someone with someone that has invaded your house, you will not be charged. You will not be charged at all. It's going to be considered to be self-defense. You see, the point of gun control is that when it comes to the assault weapons bans, they're trying to they're trying to limit the amount of guns, including what is it? Assault weapons. The M4, the AK-47. Some of the weapons. There was one of the weapons that was an assault weapon was used in the Sandy Hook shooting, and because of this outrage from the Sandy Hook shooting, Obama wants that weapon to be gone from the United States, only to use in the military. But here's the thing, though. People are afraid of, you know, being not safe. They have an absolutely amount of... I don't know how to describe how much the fear they get when they're not safe. It's like, let's say for an example, the days after September 11th. The days after September 11th, people did not feel safe, just from seeing those two towers going down. And when that happened, oh man, many people decided to, you know, buy guns. Same thing with Columbine, same thing with Sandy Hook. They felt that they want to completely protect themselves by buying guns. And when it comes to, you know, banning weapons like the M4 and the AK-47, it can result into a very bad crime rate in the United States. And to see that happen, it would be like chaotic. It's like you want to move to Canada, chaotic. And not only that, let's talk about the Second Amendment. Now, when it comes to the Second Amendment, you have to be careful of what you're trying to say about the Second Amendment. Is it either the militia, or is it people? Is it military, or is it people that has the right to have their guns? Well, there have been bills. I believe there was a bill in the 2000s, I believe, that was passed that allowed people, everyday citizens, to have their right to have a gun. And pretty much everyone in the U.S. has one. I know my family has shotguns. I know my family has shotguns. They hunt. And pretty much you're against hunting because you're a vegetarian. And yeah, that's pretty much it about my family. Let's talk about guns in general. When it comes to guns, it feels like the guns are more safe than any other type of weapon. When it comes to knives, when it comes to arrows, when it comes to chainsaws, when it comes to our fists. And here's another thing that you need to know. When it comes to calling the cops, it takes 20 minutes. At least 10 to 20 minutes for them to arrive at your place. When it comes for a gun, 5 seconds. At least 5 to 10 seconds. Either dead or they ran away. All you have to do is like shoot them and say, get the fuck out of here. And that's pretty much what I have to say about guns. But let's continue on what he says.
I don't understand it at all. If you guys want to use guns so bad, why don't you just do the most patriotic thing, because you apparently are so for patriotism, by joining the military, where they have tons of guns that won't be affected by gun laws. I'm a patriot.
Well, here's the thing, though. When it comes to joining the military, many people are afraid to die. Yeah. I mean, many people are afraid to die. Many people don't want to go to the military because, you know, they want their lives in order. They want to have a good family in order. You know, and pretty much that's the reason why they don't want to go to the military and focus on protecting themselves with their family. It doesn't matter what type of weapon they have. They want to protect their family. Let's continue on.
Sure, I believe in the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. You say, hey, you love your country so much, join the military. And they're like, oh. Now let's check out the United Kingdom's gun laws. Okay, so in the UK, a country with very strict gun laws, not even a full person out of every 100,000 citizens commits gun violence. Whereas the gun violence in the United States is more than 4 times that. According to this, in 2011, 31,940 people died from gun-related incidents, just in the United States. If you do the math, that means if we adopted the UK's gun laws some time ago, in 2011, we would have saved 24,755 people. That's about how many...
Alright, stop! Whoa! Okay, you're generalizing suicide as a gun with the head, bam. Do you know that jumping through buildings is also another thing? Hanging yourself is another thing? Do you also know that trying to crash yourself into, like, I don't know, a ditch is also another thing? How about poisoning yourself? That's another thing. That's another suicide. You cannot focus on suicide as being number one on, on the number one reason why we need gun control. There are many reasons people commit suicide and many ways that they do it. And you cannot focus on the guns. Basically, it's like what many people say, guns don't kill people. No. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. I mean, alright. Let's leave that for the fact, and let's agree to the fact that, yes, guns in fact do kill people. So, where are the gun's legs? How does it come in here and all of a sudden shoots a random person? What happens if the president owns a gun? Does it come by randomly and shoots him? What about Sandy Hook? Did like 3 guns that have unbelievably have legs, and all of a sudden decided to go to a classroom and shoot many 6- and 7-year-olds and 3 teachers? That doesn't work. It does not work. It has to involve with a person that has a gun. Now, when it comes to other weapons, sure, they're not as impactful, but people can get the job done. I mean, seriously, when it comes to America, we are fucked up when it comes to killing people. I mean, when it comes to guns, when it comes to knives, when it comes to fists, hell, we can even kill anybody with a Sunday paper. You might never know. So let's continue on.
Lives of people voting for less gun control are costing us every single year. In just the last 4 years, that's almost 100,000 people that could have been saved. So to all the gun rights activists out there, why don't you just think about what you're doing next time before you vote? And I want to make something clear, in a lot of these countries, guns aren't entirely banned, they're just very, very difficult to get. So we're not really talking about ripping your gun out of your safe in your house and saying you can no longer fire a weapon for the rest of your life, but rather more so just being responsible with these firearms.
But no. That's not what you're saying. That is not what you're completely saying. What you're saying is that many people in the United States should be aware. Okay. What you're saying is many people in the United States should be aware that you should use a gun only for the military and not for protective use. That's a big no-no. I would say you should use any type of weapon gun, knife, whatever. But when it comes to being, very protective and you want to kill, when it comes to being protective and you want the most powerful weapon you want, many people would say, I want to use a gun. And the other thing is, you're right. People are not responsible on the guns. But here's another thing. The people that has a gun shop, they're not responsible for going on background checks on these people. They're not aware of how stable they are. They're not aware of what mental disorders they got. What type of crimes they commit. They need to focus on the fact that they need to be completely stable and completely responsible to own a gun for their protective use. So let's continue on what he's trying to say.
So here's some propaganda against gun control. Hitler was a great speaker. That means anybody who's a great speaker is automatically a communist. Stalin wore a uniform. That means anybody who wears a uniform obviously wants to kill a lot of people. Here's more propaganda saying that I guess because this girl's holding a shotgun and she's attractive, that automatically makes gun laws reasonable. Oh, but don't worry, British girls look fine without their guns. You know who's assigned to protect your family? The police. They're these magical people.
No! Wrong! You are completely wrong. I know police can help you, but here's the thing what I said earlier. The police comes by at your place within 20 minutes. 10 to 20 minutes tops. When it comes to defending yourself, it's 5 seconds. 5 seconds! You just shoot them and they'll leave. That's it.
Just put in a few numbers to the phone, they show up to your house to protect you. There's also this weird thing called a security system, and mace, and tasers, and baseball bats.
And you also know that these types of weapons are not as powerful as guns because it doesn't protect them enough. See where I'm getting here? People are completely, unbearably, completely crazy when it comes to protecting their family. I mean, they want their children protected, so they're going to do everything they can to protect their children, their family, their husbands, and themselves. It doesn't matter if it's mace. It doesn't matter if it's a baseball bat. What matters is the protection. And the biggest thing of it all is the biggest thing of them all is how powerful the weapon is. And pretty much what many people agree is the gun. And when it comes to, you know, shootings like Sandy Hook, Columbine, Virginia Tech, the Colorado movie theater shooting, it gives them a shock that this is happening. That why are people doing this? And because the reason why they're doing this is because they're not mentally stable, and also they might have been bullied at some point, and they decided that, you know, maybe my revenge will be like shooting innocent people. And when it comes to having that in that mind, that's mentally unstable. You're not mentally functioning the right way to use a gun. And that's what they did. They did not mentally function their brains well, and they decided to kill innocent people. But you gotta remember, it's not like that. They had to do some thinking. And the perfect example is James Holmes. I mean, what the hell is he? I mean, my God! How did he set up everything? Setting up a booby trap into his place, setting up how everything should be going into that theater. How? I don't understand that. But here's the thing, though. They were mentally not functioning and unstable to realize that using a gun as a revenge in his mind to take down innocent people is not the way. And pretty much where he got those guns and other types of other weapons, the owners were not aware that he was mentally unstable. They haven't checked his background checks, and yeah, that's how history became. So let's listen more on him.
There's all kinds of things that you could use to protect yourself. Why do you need something that could kill a bunch of children in a school? It's not like the North Korean army is going to descend upon your house and the only way you can defend yourself is with a freaking Gatling gun. So be logical and invest in reasonable defense. When does 911 ever not answer? If they don't send someone right out to help you, then that probably means you're just a raving psychopath who thinks everything is an extreme situation, which...
Okay. I think you've heard the point. 911 always answers. They do. But they wait. Not wait. They come by like 10 to 20 minutes, like I said, like about 3 times already. 10 to 20 minutes. They will help you, but they come in a later time. If you want immediate help, what many people want to say, use a gun, or use a baseball bat, use a knife. They need to protect themselves. You can't just generalize that the ultimate help is calling 911. Sometimes 911 does not work. You know, where police comes by and they say, "Oh, we can't help you." That's where it happens. What happens if they can't help you? You gotta remember that. So, I hope you enjoyed this video about me going against Onision's argument on gun control, and I will see you later! And hopefully my video on the Ted Barris thing, hopefully it It's getting ready today. So, see you later.